I was just visiting my uncle. He was in the hospital. He's fine. He just had complications. And complications, that's just the medical term for the doctor's fucked up. They made an oopsie. Now you get to stay longer and pay more. But I knew this was gonna be a bad hospital because on my way out, I saw the name and the slogan. So the name was Bronx General. Changing lives in the Bronx. Not saving. Just changing lives in the Bronx. That's like a liability thing, right? This hospital probably has like a really bad save-to-death ratio. They just can't make a guarantee. You walk in, doctor, you have to save my uncle's life? His life is gonna be different. What, are things gonna get better? Things won't be the same. Yeah, this surgery is gonna be transformative. Look, once we get in there, for better or for worse, there's no going back. All we can guarantee is that the surgery is gonna be in the Bronx. And it's probably gonna be complicated. So that was the Bronx, but I live in Brooklyn, and I like living in Brooklyn. A lot of like new cool restaurants open up all the time, but I love seeing restaurants that have the sign established in, and then it's a year that's like not even that impressive. You guys know what I'm talking about? Established in 2021, okay. Fucking everybody had a new business in 2021. You use your stimulus check, good for you. I think you have to wait like at least a decade before you start bragging, right? Or you gotta go through some crazy tumultuous year where the odds just vary against your restaurant. Like a halal cart established in 2001, you know it's good. Right? You know that white sauce is forgiving, that's how good it is. Or a Japanese restaurant established in 1941, you know it's solid. What? Omakasi's so good you forget about the kamikazes, that's what they say about that restaurant. Okay, I'm glad Pearl Harbor wasn't too soon. Maybe you guys just watched Oppenheimer, Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. So, the only exception to this like established restaurant rule is the year 2020, right? Because as a restaurant, you had to beat a lot of odds in 2020. You had to beat COVID and Fauci. Yo, in terms of restaurant adversity, that's like playing against Kobe and Shaq. Unbeatable duo, working with and against each other. All right, not a Lakers fan crowd. Cool, all right. That's totally fine. Also, if you were a Chinese restaurant in 2020, you still exist, that's impressive. Right? Wings over Wuhan and you're still here? Good for you, dude. All right, so if you were a Chinese restaurant established in 2020, you've earned the right to have a sign that's like EST 2020, comma, bitch. Started in March and now we're here. I was in Japan recently and I was sitting next to an Asian woman on the train and I said konnichiwa to this woman and the woman was offended because she was Chinese. Which I totally get how that would feel racist, but we're in Japan. Like, it would be racist if I was in America, went up to a random Asian woman and just said konnichiwa, that would be racist, right? But like, we're in Japan. Konnichiwa is the greeting in Japan. That would be like if I went up to a white guy in the South and I was like, howdy. And he's like, I'm from Connecticut. When in Rome, dude. Like, if a white girl came up to me in the street and just said namaste, that would be racist. But if a white girl came up to me in a yoga studio and said namaste, that would also be racist. That would also... But I get why she would do it. Because when in yoga, you do as the white women do, That's what they do, all right. A lot of white women here tonight, sorry, all right. Anyway, I am married, which is like my biggest personality trait. My wife is Pakistani, that's not her fault. I can say that because my family's racist, and you guys are too, okay. When we matched, I Googled her name, and the first web result that came up for my wife's name, it was Arizona teenager jihadist pleads guilty to domestic terrorism charges. And that's a red flag. Right? Because I can't go on a date with a teenager. That would be gross, right? That would be... If you're not laughing, you are a pedophile, all right? Or from Arizona, one of the two. But I clicked on the link. I was curious, like, why did the FBI arrest my soulmate? And clicked on the link. It's this guy who's not my wife, all right? Gonna be clear. Didn't marry this dude, just has their name. This guy was arrested because he was planning on bombing his local DMV. Yeah. And look, I don't want to condone terrorism, but... if there's like one building that I think we can all agree kind of deserves the wrath of Allah. Come on, it's gotta be the Department of Motor Vehicles, right? In any state in America. Like, I don't think this guy was really a terrorist. I think he was just getting fed up. People were asking, where was he radicalized? At the DMV, dude. Standing in line, waiting for that number. I mean, the real terrorists are the people that work at the DMV, right? Have you ever tried negotiating with them? You can't. And you can't negotiate with terrorists. That's what we're taught here in America. And yet we do it just to get a learner's permit. I think it's messed up. Look, all I'm trying to say, guys, is like if the terrorists attacked the DMV on 9/11, we wouldn't be saying never forget. Right? Dude, if they attacked the DMV, we would all be like, Allah Akbar! You know, we'd all be like, Usama had a point. All right, the crowd is on board with jihad. Let's go. Hell yeah. I'll say something less controversial. I'm a big fan of Blink-182. You guys like Blink-182? Okay, hell yeah. A couple white dudes who look like you're in a cover band here for them. I love Blink-182. When I was 12 years old, I had a poster, and on the poster, the lead singer, he's doing this. Yeah, do you guys know what this means? I mean, if you don't, you're a virgin. So, I hope you know. I didn't know what it meant. I was 12, so I asked the Scholastic Book Fair cashier. Because he would know, you know? And I was like, hey man, what does this mean? And he's like, oh dude, this means rock on, bro. Rock on. I'm like, okay, hell yeah, dude, rock on. So I bought the poster, I hang it in my bedroom, my parents come in, they're like, what does this mean? I'm like, it means rock on. My parents were like, okay, rock on. We like Elvis, so this is okay. And then like a week later, I got a really good grade on my art project, and the teacher writes on my paper, hey Bassam, great job. Rock on. Yeah, so I looked at my teacher, I was like, hey, Miss Thomas. Rock on, right? The paper mache was dope. Now I'm in the principal's office. The principal's like, do you know what this means, Bassam? I'm like, it means punk rock, dude. Like, why do I feel like I'm in Footloose right now? This is so weird. He's like, no, it doesn't mean rock on. I'm like, well, what does this mean? He's like, you're orally performing cunnilingus on a woman's genitalia. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. I'm 12 years old. Is that Italian? What are you saying to me right now? This seems inappropriate. So they call my parents on the principal's office. And they're like, you know what your son's been doing? My parents were like, rock on, right? He's been doing it all week. The principal's like, no, it doesn't mean rock on. And my parents were confused, like, well, what does it mean? This means he's orally performing cunnilingus on a woman's genitalia. My parents were like, we don't know what that means. We don't speak Italian in our household. And they told my parents what it meant. My dad's like, oh, I don't like what this school's teaching here. This sounds a lot like critical pussy theory. I'm not a big fan of CPT, not in my schools. Yeah, they didn't like that curriculum, but I got to study abroad in college. Anybody here study abroad? Yeah? Where would you study abroad?
Istanbul.
Istanbul? Oh, I studied abroad in Istanbul. No shit.
Really?
Oh my God. Hell, why were you there?
Studying politics.
Studying politics? Okay, got a likely story. All right, if you were a dude, it would be a fucking hair transplant. But all right, I'm glad, yeah. I studied abroad in Istanbul because I wanted to go to a country where like I could be a white person. Because I blended in super well over there. This beige was camouflage, all right? My white classmates, they were struggling. They were getting scammed and robbed by locals. And me, I was helping those locals out. You know, I was a townie. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about Turkish culture. I learned that all Turkish men are required to serve in the military, but there's ways they can get out of it. So if they can prove that they're gay, they won't let you serve. Yeah. I mean, you can still serve, right? But you can't enlist in the Turkish military. And I asked them, so like, how do you prove that you're gay? They told me you have to send a video. Yeah, you have to send the Turkish military an OnlyFans clip. And in the video, you gotta be the bottom. Because if you're the top, they're like, no, that's okay, don't worry about that. A hole's a hole, bro. We've all been there. We're in the military. We call it Top Gun for a reason, buddy, but we're not bottoms. Those are the Greeks. We're not the gay. It's kind of funny. If you were gay in the U.S. military, it was this policy called, like, don't ask and don't tell. In Turkey, the policy is show and tell. You know, it's just, I'm not sure. Wow. Just want to clarify, I'm an American, you know. I'm legally obligated to say that. I love this country. I have a cousin, he's trying to get into America right now. He's trying to get his green card. So he's brown, he's Muslim, he's got a passport from an African country, and his name is Azad Issa. Do any of you guys think he's gonna get in? The laugh is a no, thank you. I think he should get in just based off of his name. So his first name Azad translates as freedom, right? And his last name Issa translates as Jesus. This dude's name is Freedom Jesus, man. That's like the most American name ever. Freedom and Jesus? I can't think of two words that can make a Republican come harder, if you really think about it. Maybe Roe and Wade. Like, those are all the other two. All right, those are safe words, my bad. It's almost like too suspicious of a name, though, right? It sounds like he made it up. He goes to an immigration officer, the guy's gonna be skeptical. He's like, your name is Freedom Jesus? He's like, yes, hello, I am Freedom Jesus. This is my wife, Liberty Apple Pie. My daughter, Ford F-150. and my son, overweight school shooter. We love America. We love America. You guys have been a lot of fun. My name's Bassam Shawl. Thank you so much for supporting live comedy. Enjoy the rest of the night.